Okay, what a joy. Even English. Alright, let's turn that down a bit. Surprisingly, the speaker on it's not too bad. I had a couple of emails from people from the last video that said, watch the speaker, that there's been some issues with the older Grundig speakers, and yeah, gave it a good run, and we're very lucky. I don't think this unit saw a lot of use, to be honest. Now, everyone that saw part one of this saw that they're a little bit of a nightmare to put back together, and we had one broken switch as well, which we've glued up, and we've got that working quite well. But that's always to be remembered, to be a little bit cautious with. As much as I'm good with Araldite, and you can't see any significant repair, so that's good. It's all behind the panel, which is great, but also meaning that if we ever need to get back to it, that we'll have to do just that. I've just noticed something too. The AFC, that one, the orange would be that one. I just happened to notice. I thought, hang on, because we had all these off and cleaning them, we had one that was okay, and that's the automatic fine tuning there, which, as you can see, actually works, because when I chuck it out, it goes a little bit off station, and you can see on the frequency counter there, and that's what it's the automatic fine tuning's doing, is just getting it into place. But so if we only needed this to be just a local excuse me, FM radio, that'd be great. Luckily, we've got it working. There wasn't a lot wrong with it once we fixed all the power supply issues, and that's a faulty cap, which I've got here somewhere under all my rubbish. Yes, here it is. So this one short circuit capacitor, obviously, German branded, so no question that it's a very good capacitor. Unfortunately, was the reason that this caused a short. And if you remember on the circuit, I showed you that once that capacitor shorts, that's it. You won't get any DC lines or AC lines to work. It just shuts down, and we'll basically start blowing fuses. Now, I'm going to be a bit honest here. I'd run out of little small mini fuses, so I've done a little solder trick across a couple of fuses till I get the right fuses to chuck in there. Now, I have guessed the wire and gone, yeah, that looks like about 1.6 amp. But please don't do that. It's I could show you what I've done, but I'm probably too embarrassed to. But once I get down to JCar and grab some more fuses, we'll be putting the right fuses back in. Those fuses, probably okay for doing a test like this right now, but if we do get another cap somewhere that has a problem, excuse me, those fuses are meant for a reason, and that's what stops you having to go through and find that, oh, hang on, it's not just the cap, there's an audio IC gone, or there's other things, and that's what will happen if you just keep on applying power. Things will just get hot and burn up. So now there's probably not likely to be a lot of activity on my little bit of wire. Excuse me. I've got this switch in here, which means I'm actually cutting out the external antenna, and I've got my bit of wire on the back. So I really do mean a bit of wire. So I don't expect we're going to hear a lot. Sorry, it does connect to an antenna, but very, very crudely. So what they do with these things is really from start to finish, they basically go long wave, medium wave, short wave. I should show you this. Short wave 2, short wave 3. Now, I'm glad we haven't got the back cover on this, because I've just realised something. Excuse me. I reckon we've got a light out, because when we go to short wave 1 and 2, which are actually on here, that should light up like that one lights up. So we're not putting the covers back on this just yet, but this is pretty small. Replacing light bulbs is definitely in my expertise. That's probably about the best I'm good at these days. But so when I go to FM, yeah, okay, see how the light comes up there? So yep, we've definitely got a light out on shortwave 1 and 2, but we can hear shortwave 1 and 2. We can see the frequency being about 2 megs, and then we can just run around there. Not going to hear an awful lot. We're in sideband at the moment. go off to AM. Unlikely to hear much at the moment, to be honest. Keep in mind you do have an antenna trimmer control. This one here. Not making a lot of difference, to be honest, but sometimes you might find it does. Some bands will be more active, probably the HF, higher HF bands, you'll find that. Now, if it was night time, maybe we get something up on 3 megs here. We'll go to shortwave 2, which gets us up around 5 megs. And so just a little bit sticky there. We might free that up. Just see how it just sticks just there a little bit. So we'll free that up a bit too. I used to do dial cords when I was a younger fella at Jensen Electronics. We used to do car radios more so in the old days with dial cords. And I was terrible at it then, and I'm sure I'll be terrible at it now. Now, when we go to shortwave 3, the bottom section lights up. That works on a whole different idea, and I'm going to need to change hands here. Hang on, there we go. It's quite a different idea where this tumbler runs around. Now, I just want to show you something. Let's go in the middle section. See all those contacts there? We have had to clean every one of those on every band to get them so that they actually do what we're doing here, so that we actually get, because that was not happening before, I can tell you. But once those contacts are clean with a bit of good old deoxit D5, see, we're getting shares in the company. 2 cans sitting here. I think that one's empty though. Oh, a little bit. Anyway, so pretty much once we go to shortwave, what is called 3 to 10 there, 3-10, which is 3 to 10, excuse me, that gives us the majority of our HF bands. So as you can see, if I go down the bottom there, going really bad here, sorry. You can tell I'm using the wrong hand. Actually, I'm right-handed. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble with that, to be honest. Okay, so there's two things here too. There's the 24 meg and 25 meg. So one actually, as you can see, the frequency changes when we go from there to there. So basically it's giving you 2 little excerpts of band spreads. Now they're quite different. One's only going about a meg here. The other one's going from 24 to 29 megs. So ideally, I doubt on this bit of wire we'd hear anyone. Now, the other thing with your BFO, excuse me, with the BFO in here, you do have to be aware of what band you're on. So on 80 meters, you're going to be on shortwave 1 to 2, which will be shortwave 2. So LSB is actually over here. LSB is actually on, say, 10 meters or 11 meters, where we are at the moment on 27270, I suppose, is this side here is lower side. So as you can see, it is a little bit different. The moment we go back to, in normal terms, this would be correct, because on 28 megs, upper sideband would be the preferred mode, and on 3.5 megs, when you're in shortwave 2, would be lower sideband. So they did think it out pretty well. You've got the BFO that adjusts there, of course, but I don't think we're going to hear much, especially on just a bit of wire. No. All right, well, but we will hear a bit more. You know what, I could try on 7 megs here. Now, so we want to put the BFO on, so we want to be in the lower sideband on 7 megs. So we know that that's shortwave 4, so we want to go to lower to be on. Yes, well, that's interesting, isn't it? So it doesn't work as perfect as I said. For 80 meters, yes, that would work correctly, but for 40, you are having to make a change. Let's just go down, down, and I am not overly confident of hearing too much, to be honest. Only because it sounds like sideband, which is good, but I had to listen on my beam on the 7850 just before, and I heard there was nobody there. It was just, I couldn't even hear much FT8, to be honest. It was really quiet. Yeah, no, there's really not much happening at the moment. I wish I could show you a bit more, but that's okay, because tonight we'll hook it up on probably on the 80 meter dipole, and maybe give it a bit of a run, and who knows, we might be able to get back. Sorry, I'm still pretty crook, unfortunately. I just got up out of bed and decided that I want to fix this, and I wasn't doing much in bed that was really making any sense, so it was just better to. But yeah, just excuse my throat. They were down there with cameras the other day, and it's been a bit raspy ever since. But anyway, these things I sent to try us. So Battery saving things, because these can run on just a whole stack of D cells or C cells, little 1.5 batteries somewhere. It's going to be curious now what they do run on. I think it's about somewhere around here. No. Yeah, really. Okay, so it takes batteries. You can run the, but of course sorry, I'm just scanning this, just trying to see if I can see. Reckon there's D cells. I reckon they're Ds. Anyway, you do have a battery meter here when you're on battery, so that you can actually check that. This is very easy to put on either 110 or 240 volts as well. It's the flick of a switch on the rear. A little bit too easy, actually. I sometimes think that could be a trick for new players. And let's put the counter back on, because it just doesn't look right without the counter. So I don't know that we're going to hear an awful lot with where we are or what we've got on there at the moment, because the bands are just really dead. I'm actually thinking shortwave 1's going to be pretty pointless. I am wondering about, no, maybe medium wave. Can we hear anything on medium wave? And that may just use the old ferrite antenna. Oh no, sounds like it's using, and you can hear we're on sideband there, so we'll go back to AM. So it's just an AM. Oh wow, it's weak. I can hear a voice there, but very weak. Yeah, I think they use the indoor ferrite, and maybe I'm on the wrong. Hang on, let's see. No, I'm definitely on the external, because that there would be the indoor antenna. Now let's just do a comparison. Wrong one. Get a lot of birdies out of this Radio Shack here, I think. Let's go back to external antenna, and we're getting a lot of noise. Whoops. Yeah. Probably my LED lights and things are not helping much, even with the external antenna. It's, yeah. Let's go back over to somewhere where we know we're at. And 7.1 there, sorry. I'm just going to turn that down a bit again, and we're going to go back to sideband. Now we know we're not going to get much there. Just give me a tick. I'm going to see if I can find a signal which would be nice on HF. Okay, just picking up a signal on 10 megs, of course. And now I'll show you this little antenna trimmer. This is a little trimmer that's here. As you can see, you can sort of pick that. That's not very exciting, I know. But well, it was worth having a bit of a play. Let's see what else. Okay, so we're just proving something here. Our switch is working. Just injecting a signal in, and as I put a bit of etc, etc. And what this is proving is I've got a slight intermittent on the back of this connection here. Have a look at this. See how it's just, yeah. So we're going to go in and just resolder that board. It's only slight, but every now and again it is giving a bit of an issue. So that's where our antenna, and I would guarantee you that's where, turn that down, that's where we're picking up all that extraneous noise from. It'll most likely be a grounding problem, that the ground is not, it's got a dry joint in there on that top board there somewhere. For all intents and purposes, yep, it's working. Still a couple little things, excuse me, that I'm not 100% happy with, but that's okay. I've got to make a little mental note. Replace light, dry joint, and apart from that, FM still work? And we can tune. Oh, antenna. I was going to say. Oh, that's a big antenna actually. Hey, look at this. That goes up quite a way. Alright. But of course, AFC is the way to go. Just automatic fine tune on these things. If they do have any drift in them, it just sorts it out. And that is good. Alright, well look, I could go on about this for a lot longer. And I actually may even do a bit of a run with it on 80 meters. I want to get that that globe fixed, and that I reckon a grounding issue just up on that top board across there that possibly is giving us a little bit of an intermittent there. Obviously it's not going to show up on the FM antenna. Still stable on the 7 meg signal we've got injected in, so yeah, that's alright, but still. This is the Grundig, I remember the number now, really, Satellite 3400 Professional. We might just do one last one at some stage on with all the lights working and that last little intermittent thing that I'm just not happy with sorted out. But I must admit I'm a bit buggered. Excuse me. I've been up all of about a couple of hours, and unfortunately my body just doesn't last too long at the moment, so I think we'll call that quits. It's good to have at least got a bit further forward on it. The last video quite a few days ago was in quite a mess, so here, I don't really want to hear that. You'd probably rather hear that one there. That's good. Oh, by the way, I worked out what this was too. This is actually AM bandwidth control. Makes quite a big difference too, so we'll maybe show that at some stage. But yeah, overall this is a really rare bit of kit, and I must say, even though the seller said, you know, we bought a few bits from the same seller, usual story. You know, look, I'm not mad at anybody, by the way, it's not the issue. I'd just rather know whether things work or not. These people may not have known, to be 100% fair. But we certainly paid working dollars for everything. I've still got to go through an FT1000 and a few other bits yet, and an FT901. So, let's just hope the Grundig's the only... I might have created more work for myself on this deal, but anyway, you know how it is. To get the collectible bits, sometimes you've got to, you know, just go through a bit of pain, and that's what it's all about. 73s from VK3 Tally Mike. Thanks very much for having a look at this journey through the Grundig Satellite 3400. I suppose I really didn't need to look at the book, did I? It did say Satellite 3400 Professional on there. God, see what I mean? Crook, not doing well. Running a bit slow, but hopefully back to the specialist later in the week, and then we've got to book another surgery, so not looking forward to it, but hopefully we can get somewhere with it. So thanks very much for all the different emails and comments, and really appreciate the support. I know there are people out there that are a lot worse than me right now, so you know, don't feel too sorry for me. If I can get up and actually fix this radio like I've done, you know, then it can't be too bad, can I? So let's just keep on, you know, thinking positive. Thanks very much, guys. All the best. Cheers.